All right, we'll be inside again with yet another boxcar team from Press. And this team is the Artistic Innovators. Wow, that we have to start with that. Who can tell us about the name and how you came about that? Let's start with Dimitri. Dimitri, talk to me. Tell me about Artistic Innovators and the name.
Well, to be honest with you, it was like just we like group name, so to say, like
Mm.
with anybody from our like friend group, um, like that would be the name for the group when they enter a competition.
Okay, so this was something kind of you hadn't think before. Okay, all right. So
Yeah.
Aaron, tell us about your boxcar experience. What was it like for you?
Well, for me, it was a very nice learning experience. I got to learn how to weld and use a miter saw.
All right, that's the only stuff you learned. That's how to use power tools. What about working with people?
Well, I mean, I worked with them before, so
Ah, okay, so it's an established team. Nice, nice. Stefan, I see you agreeing with that. Can you say that you have learned anything new about the team that you're working with that you have already worked with before?
Well, I yeah, I suppose I could say I learned I learned a lot about I learned a lot of how to do stuff right. How to, well, of course I've worked with these people before, but I've learned sort of what we can do, what everyone is good at. I learned what I am good at, and of course I learned what I'm not good at. And but as far as anything really big new, as not really, because I've worked with these people a lot before.
Okay, Ashish, I'm putting you on the spot with something different. What was the box card experience like for you? This is the first time you're racing box cards, so I understand you worked together as a team before, but what was the experience like for you?
The experience was definitely different from anything I've done before. I can't honestly say that I've actually heard of a box car before this competition, but it was really one of the most amazing things I've done because you learn a lot about the physics of it, um, how it's like built, and how these things are executed realistically.
Mm. Okay, okay, Maximus. Now I know we had some connection issues, but tell me, how do you rate the experience with regard to a school environment? Okay, I wonder if Maximus hearing us. You need to unmute your mic, bro. All right.
Was I asked a question? Sorry, I didn't hear.
Okay, so the question is, how do you rate the experience from a school perspective as a school activity?
From a school perspective, oh, as a school activity, it was really fun. Like we at a certain point in time, we had to kind of close off a classroom for to give us a space to work, and the experience of, I don't know, just feeling included in doing a construction project like this. Like, this was the first time I ever get to weld and sew as well, and the experience itself was incredible. Like, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10, we will take that for sure, for sure. Um, so we're going into, going back with Maximus. What other cards impressed you on that day and what you liked about it?
I wasn't there on the day itself, but from the video I just saw, it had this cart with I think it was a grocery cart as the front. I like that.
All right, okay. So you missed the experience on the day. That's cool. So, Aaron, what other card impressed you there?
one card that impressed me for sure was the John Deere or the Hilux 2 that they called it. Like, that wasn't the design I was expecting to see.
All right.
But it was definitely fun to see something like that.
Nice. Okay, okay. I didn't have anybody you think you all will want to go after for the next box cut.
Anyone in particular?
Hmm.
Not really sure.
Not really sure. What about you, Stefan? What about you, Stefan? You thinking of anybody you want to go after?
Well, uh, I know that when we participated on the day, we were matched up against Fatima. So I think, you know, not to single them out. Of course, they're all lot of good competitors, but I think, you know, when we go back, well, it'll be this year. God's willing, we could kind of give a performance to them specifically.
All right, all right. Ashish, what more would you want to see for Box Cart Intercol?
Uh, I would definitely love to see it grow with a lot more carts. Definitely want to see it bigger, as well as the maybe make sure there's a timer there for the whole thing.
Yeah, we had some challenges with the timing system. So Dimitri, what changes would you make to your existing card? I mean, once it's not a top secret thing, what changes you would make for to your card to make it more competitive?
Well, I know it had a little issue with the weight. I mean, not the weight, the width, right? So maybe just narrow it down a bit.
Okay,
And
all right, narrow down a bit and see if we get the same performance or better. Sounds good. Sounds good.
yeah.
I want to touch on the entrepreneurial drive. What did you all do to raise funding? I'll go with Ashish on this one.
Well, definitely. Before I talk about what we actually did, I would say we definitely needed more initiative in that area to start earlier and raise more funds. Because in total, we would have raised less funds than what the money we put into the box cart. So we only did two sales. They were both in school, and even though it was only two sales, we actually ended up learning a lot about the business aspect, as in, because even though if you're selling, we sold brownies, right? And even when you sell brownies, you have to, it's not just the cost of the brownies, it's cost of napkins and gloves and stuff. And
Mm,
it's also really interesting, what you sell affects how well everything sells. Because one day we sold brownies and the sales were quite slow. We sold it break and it ended up still selling lunchtime. But the next time we sold donuts and brownies, and all of it sold out within break.
mm.
That was really interesting to learn.
Indeed, I and all I am very interested to know what motivated the performance of your product. That's very interesting. Something you should probably look into. So I know for this year, the nice surprise about preparation is that we pushing to have it in July. So it's a lot sooner and it's after exams. Right. So the week after school closes is when we target in. Once we get the approvals, the official approvals, of course we'll let everybody know. You know. The other component too as well at this time, sorry, I'd like to also mention the support because on the day we had a lot of hydration. We had hydration through Gatorade, Blue Waters. Nobody was thirsty or dehydrated. Well, except for one extreme incident for your colleagues. But at the end of it, it was a fantastic day with the supporters of Gatorade and Blue Waters and the continued support of Ministry of Sport, Ministry of Education, trinituner.com, the Capacity Network, all making this thing a reality. And at this point, again, I'll mention our partner, MIC. So what MIC is doing is they've partnered with us and they've offered their facilities to anyone building the box cart for Box Cart Intercol to come in and use their welding equipment, saws, and all that good stuff. And you will be supervised by their instructors. So that's a nice thing. You all could start a plan and put things in place with regard to planning. and hopefully we'll get to see more from Artistic Innovators. Now, again, the name Artistic Innovators, I have to ask about the name. I mean, it's something that from a group you all had before. But what is this? What does that group do to deserve the name Artistic Innovators? What are you guys doing? I seen Ashish rubbing his chin there, Dimitri smiling. I never go with Aaron. Aaron, I hear from you in a bit. Talk to me. What was that about? Or you prefer Ashish to answer?
No, I don't mind talking.
Good. So let me hear you, Aaron.
So initially, our friend group chat, right? It's titled The Artistic Artist because the original purpose of it was used for an art group project, which we just kind of kept. And then any other thing that we would work on, we'd like make it a pun off of artistic artists. In this case, it would be Artistic Innovators.
All right. So it's an extension. So how do you see what you did being supported or even facilitated by the box cart experience? How do you tie art and the expression of art to the box cart experience? Stefan.
Well, to get a little philosophical, engineering can be expressed as an art, right? The process of planning and designing and constructing can be described as an art. Many welders, well, not just welders, just people who work in engineering and construction in general, they take great pride in their work because as we learn, welding is not just a one and done thing. It's definitely a learning process. There are some welds you just look at and you say, that's beautiful, that's amazing. And then some, including some of ours, admittedly, you look at and say, probably not. But, we learned, and I would like to say we get that a lot of that we did do some pretty good welding. Some of our welds were pretty nice. So I think that's how it ties into art.
All right, and sticking with Stefan, any music in your artistic expressions? Anybody?
Any music?
Yeah, like a band. You'll play in a band or anything like that.
Well, I had a guitar here, but not exactly a band.
Right, but you play music though.
I do, yeah.
Oh, okay. So nobody else in the group plays music. You're the only musician.
Aaron sings a little.
Oh, really? All right. Nice. Aaron, you putting you on the spot there. All right. Maximus, I would like to ask you if you could tell us what more would you like to see for Box Cart Intercol? All right. Maximus, like he lock up on us there. All right, so I'll go with Ashish. Ashish, what more would you like to see for Box Cart Intercol?
What more I would like to see?
Mm-hmm.
Like in the actual competition?
All wrong, everything.
Well, something I think would be cool is if you could try. So we know it's a gravity race, right? And it's for speed. But the whole concept of pushing the car down the ramp definitely got me thinking how, because we have cars with steerings, if you could have ramps of different shapes and maybe even a larger ramp for more speed.
All right, you say more speed.
Carts.
More speed. All right, Dimitri, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, like if it's different shapes, like differently shaped ramps, right? It would be interesting to see how different teams decide to, like, if they know what shape the ramps have, sorry, from like before, how they would go about designing their carts to, like, properly um you know ride along the track of the ramp.
All right, all
Right.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, but other than the course, I see like Maximus is back. Maximus, what more would you like to see with the Box Cart Intercol? You have to unmute your mic, Maximus, if you're talking.
Hello? We hear me?
Yeah, right. We're hearing you, Maximus. What more would you like to see for Box Cart
Testing 1, 2,
Intercol?
3. Hello. Okay. For boxer, I think just for me personally, I believe that if when a team is submitted, I wish that it
Okay, well, we're having some issues there with Maximus delivery.
okay.
Fellas,
I was
oh, okay, you're going again. Nah, Maximus, your connection
sorry
real
for the
mashing us
technical
up here, boy.
difficulties. I am so sorry for the technical difficulty. I apologize.
That's all right, brother. That's all right. It happens to the best of us.
As I was saying, I think when a team is submitted, I would like it if the Box Cart Intercol gave a little more support, like monetary wise, even for them to supply the materials to build a cart. I would appreciate that more.
Okay, noted. Aaron, your thoughts on what we could do next? What would you like to see next for Box Cart Intercol?
One thing I would find interesting is that you know how the competition is primarily focused on speed, right? One thing I would like to see is actually a distance category to see how far the carts can go.
Okay, noted. That's a nice challenge. I agree. Okay, yeah. Now the physics behind it is whoever reaches the finish line first will more than likely go the furthest. But run
Yeah.
the math and the physics on it. But I see where it can be another exciting challenge, right? In closing remarks, I want to try again with my boy Maximus. Any closing remarks you have as we wrap up this session?
Could you repeat the question, please?
What are your closing remarks as we wrap up this session?
My closing remarks Box Cart Intercol, if you could send me some internet, that would be appreciated. No, but I think this Intercol was I think it was incredible to work on. It was so much fun learning the different skills needed to construct a box cart. Even taking the pictures and trying not to get archived was a great experience, and it honestly it was priceless.
All right. Priceless indeed, my brother. Priceless indeed. Aaron, your closing remarks.
Right. Someone I would like to mention, he's not technically part of the team, right? But he did help us significantly towards building the actual car. A classmate of ours, Ashwin Mahabir Singh.
Okay.
He was honestly a very good. He was a big help, even though he wasn't technically part of the team.
All right. No problem. So you're sending out a thanks to him. Ashish, your closing remarks.
As Aaron would have mentioned, Ashwin, seeing a team expand the ability to have larger teams would be pretty cool. The Intercol is great.
All right. And who is just one other person? Who would that be? Dimitri? Closing remarks?
Well, I just saying we can't just thank Ashwin alone. Obviously, we have to thank like the teachers that would have helped us too. So Mr. Ragbir and Miss Matu. So yeah.
All right. So vote of thanks for everybody who supports you then.
Yeah, basically.
All right. Nice. Well, all right, guys. We wrap up here. And again, we want to thank you for taking the time, not only for this interview and sharing your experiences. again, for participating and competing, representing your school and your culture well, you know. It's always good to see the youngsters express themselves like that. And that's a good thing, right? So again, I want to thank everyone for doing this and again supporting the Box CART Intercol. All right, I see James Harris just saying, giving you guys a good job deal there. So that's good. Yeah, at least you know James was listening and paying attention. Anyways, guys, stay safe. Remember, we pushing to have the Box CART Intercol in July this year, which is going to be right after exams and school close. So you'll have some time. You also have the ability to go to MIC Center and build your Box CART. That is the important thing. That partnership with MIC is a good one that everybody could, expand on and capitalize on. And Maximus with MIC in the fold, who knows, you might be able to get some material for your Box CART this time around without paying too much for it. We will try. We will try to get you some internet for the next Box CART. All right. Thanks again, guys. Presentation College representing well as usual. Until next time.